So I've been playing a bit of Handsome Collection because I don't really have any other major games to be playing through right now. And after playing through Destiny 2, I'm still surprised by how Borderlands 2 tends to hold up. Sure, its shooting mechanics don't have as much polish as Destiny, but there's a lot more depth in terms of character customization with those skill trees. And the fact that the level cap doesn't end at 20. But not even just in terms of mechanics, but in terms of storytelling, because even though the game is primarily about you shooting people, they always seem to find a funny scenario to put you in. And sometimes not even just funny, but actually kind of like smart and well thought out. Such as this side mission in the town of Overlook, where you're trying to help them put the shields back up to get the town safe. And this lady's your quest giver, and she's talking to you throughout the whole thing. Meanwhile, you're constantly interrupted by another townsperson named Dave, who is super prejudiced and sexist and doesn't think that a lady can lead the town properly. And that this job could be done better if it was done by a man. And he's super annoying, and it leads to this great payoff where you're testing this mortar gun, and she has it shoot him, because this is Borderlands, it's a lawless planet. And so we're able to get away with just shooting the sexist people out of the sky. Which would be a kind of a nice thing we could do in real life, but we can't. Gotta keep those genes in the pool for some reason. The game's also just full of like little tiny references that are very subtle. Well, I mean, not too subtle. The game doesn't like point them out to you. Such as the Top Gun mission where you go to interrupt a game of shirtless volleyball. Or in the Thanksgiving DLC, you're fighting a chef who's straight up a Gordon Ramsay character, and if you shoot his hat off, a rat pops out. Named the Rat in the Hat, so that's both a Ratatouille and a Dr. Seuss reference. And like, these are just little things that a player who just blows up everything could easily miss if they're not thinking or reading. One of the strengths is that the story is pretty much told from your character's perspective, in that it doesn't interrupt the gameplay while you're playing. Like the assault on Sanctuary, which is this big place where everything gets destroyed, you're playing through that whole thing, you get teleported out, you get to watch Sanctuary book it. And in Destiny 2, a similar situation is explained via cutscene, which, not as great. Plus, the firefights in Borderlands 2 consist of more than one enemy type, because in Destiny you'll fight one faction, and each faction has maybe one type of goon at a time, which can get kind of boring because they all act the same. While in Borderlands you'll fight guys with guns, guys who run at you, guys with shotguns that run at you, guys that are on fire, small guys with guns, small guys who run at you, small guys who are on fire. These monsters that come out of the ground, monsters that come out of the sky, guys in planes. There's just so many enemy types. When they do make Borderlands 3, if there's one thing I'd like them to change, it's the fight for your life system. I mean, it's cool that you can revive yourself, but for every last minute revive, there's one where it's like you're hopeless and you're just sitting there waiting to die. Especially when you lose because your gun is reloading or switching weapons is just too slow and there's nothing I could have done to prevent this. And I've heard that in late game enemies tend to just basically one-shot you. So that sounds extremely frustrating. I probably won't finish this playthrough of 2 because I've played through it twice before, and this is the first time I've had access to a bunch of the DLCs, so I'll probably just do those. And then I'll switch to a full playthrough of pre-sequel, because I've only ever completed that one once. And I like pre-sequel. You got lasers, you got the cool low gravity sections, and you got, I think, better characters to play as.
We all draw when the church bell rings for the third time.
A Truxican standoff? Fine.
Draw! I'll show you what a badass is! I'm not full yet.